Hello, welcome to Biography TV. If you're new here, please subscribe and turn on the notification so you don't miss our next video. Biography of Marie Gondjout. I affirm my belief that it would be premature now for Gabon to achieve total independence, for this would suddenly lead to anarchy, or what would be even worse, into a sort of neo-colonialism. Definitely not my words, but quotes are credited to Marie Gondjout, who was born on the 4th of June 1912 from the Mpongwe ethnic group in Gabon. Marie Gondjout was the man of the moment in the early 1950s up until he left governance in late 1966. He is regarded to be self-motivated, peaceful, and brave. He remains the most prominent Gabonese politician and civil servant who selflessly saw to the independence of Gabon. Gondjout served in the French Colonial administration in 1928. Afterwards, he founded the Mutual Friends for the Evolution of Port-Gentl in 1943, whose aim was to encourage talented, educated Gabonese to be involved in governance. He then went on to become a representative to the French Senate on the 2nd of July 1949, got re-elected on the 18th of May 1952 up until 7th of June 1958 when he left office in preparation for the independence of Gabon. In 1945, he established the Gabonese Democratic Party with the help of the Mpongwe business people. Subsequently, by 1953, he merged his political party with the Gabonese Mixed Committee, also a political party, to form the Gabonese Democratic Bloc (BDG), which he became the president, although lasted for a short period as he was overthrown as president of the party in 1954 by Leon Mba, the former Secretary General of the party. At the other side of life, Gondjout, with his wife Odette, a fashionista and model, welcomed their beautiful daughter, Marie Gondjout, on the 18th of December 1953, who toed her father's political path as she served as the Minister of Communication from 2007 to 2011. Jubilation filled the air as Gabon gained independence on the 17th of August 1960. Then Gondjout was appointed President of the National Assembly by the new President of Gabon, Leon Mba. However, Gondjout politically aligned with Jean Obama of the Gabonese Democratic Social Union on several discussions in a way to oppose and checkmate Leon Mba's executive power. Moreover, in November 1960, Gondjout called for a constitutional amendment to grant him more executive power. President Mba smartly reshuffled his cabinet without consulting the National Assembly. Gondjout countered the act by filing a motion of censure that is unacceptable. His plan was to supposedly benefit from a balance of power modified to his own advantage and to model Gabon after the Western democracies. Mba, who smells rat in the coffin, refuted these ideas and reacted aggressively. Leon Mba secretly secured the backing of French military to consolidate his personal power to remove Gondjout and others from their parliamentary positions. Thereafter, Gondjout was accused of staging a coup due to his disagreement with the president on reshuffling the cabinet without consulting the parliament in 1961. He was then sentenced to 2 years imprisonment. Luckily for him, he was released after some time, and President Mba still appointed him to the most symbolic post in his administration as president of the Economic Council, a smart move by the president to silence any threat from Gondjout. In the dark hours of 17th February 1964, a military coup rocked the country. where about 150 members of the Gabonese military and police headed by Lieutenant Jacques Mombo and Valerie Esson respectively seized the presidential palace. They arrested the new president of the National Assembly, Louis Bigman, French commanders Claude Hollin and Major Royer, alongside several ministers and the main target, President Leon Mba, who was dragged out of bed at gunpoint. On the eve of 18 February 1964, a military announcement rocked the wave on Radio Libreville to the Gabonese people that a coup d'etat had taken place and told the French government not to interfere in the matter. Leon Mba, under duress, was asked to broadcast a speech acknowledging his defeat, in which he said, "The D-Day is here. The injustices are beyond measure. These people are patient, but their patience has limit. It came to a boil." Although it was a clean coup that recorded no bloodshed, and when the Gabonese people did not respond violently, the military interpreted this as a sign of approval. Jean Obama became the president of the newly formed provisional government, composed of civilian politicians from both the Gabonese Democratic Social Union and Gabonese Democratic Bloc, such that Marie Gondjout at the time served as Minister of State. Unfortunately, the coup proved abortive after a few days in office, as the French government intervened by dissolving the newly formed government and reinstalling their man Leon Mba as the president of Gabon. Immediately, both Jean Obama and Marie Gondjout were arrested and tried before the court, but were fortunately found innocent of all charges from 1964 to 1966. Then, Marie Gondjout retired unannounced from active politics and lived peacefully outside public view immediately after he was discharged free and cleared of all charges in 1966 until his death on the 1st of July, 1990. What have we missed out of this biography of Gondjout? Let's know in the comment section. Will it be ridiculous to subscribe to our channel? If no, please like this video, share and subscribe to our channel.